All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is, I almost said the wrong show. This is,
Just think, if we'd caught that UFO, we would be like the dog that caught the school bus.
yep, you're absolutely right. I don't know what we're going to do if we ever do catch one of these things, I'll tell you. Okay, so I got to find this, find where it's playing here and stop it. There we go. Okay. Um, YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, the first thing they do when you start a new live stream is pull up the live stream on a separate window, put it behind something else, and start it playing with audio. Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive. I know the government had something to do with it. Anyway,
That's brain dead.
Google, government, it's all the big G. Anyway, so welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to do a couple of different things, actually like 3 different things tonight. We're going to talk about a local VHF contest. It's going on tomorrow from noon to 4, and I'm personally involved with it. I know Joseph's going to have his Yagi up in Kentucky headed this way, but he's not expecting to get much. No, but I know that for a lot of us down here locally, this is close enough that we can get involved even from the shack. And I like this one. Dwayne up in Charlotte County put this all together. And I think it's a great event because it's going to allow people from all over the area to get on and just contest with each other. It's not going to be this national thing or this international thing. It's literally just local folks all trying to get a hold of each other and exchange their call sign. If you've never contested before, this would be the one I would start with. These are all local folks. We're all going to be nice. Nobody's going to be, giving you a hard time if you don't know how to give the exchange properly or any of that kind of stuff. So this would be a good one to start with. So I'm going to bring it up later and we're going to go through the rules. We're going to go through everything that's involved in it because I really think this would be a good one. I think it's a good one for everybody. It's one I'm definitely doing myself. So it's a good one. Yeah, I think it's actually the bald cam is working tonight. The camera behind me there, if you look really closely in that camera, you can actually see my hair falling out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's and that's in real time live, so that's awesome. Anyway, yeah, this is I'm in the shack here in North Fort Myers, and I'm going to do a little bit of unboxing here in just a minute. I got a bunch of stuff in today from I saw Joseph's eyes light up. It's not a radio, brother. It's just crap. It's just parts, man. It's parts.
Light up. I've got something to show.
Yeah, but he talked me into buying a more expensive radio than the one I was planning to buy. So he did a good job as a ham. Yeah, one of my funny things this week in the newsletter was everybody just laughing hysterically, and it says, "I bought a new radio, and she thinks I'm going to sell the old one." That's the biggest thing that XYLs don't understand is it's not having the best radio that makes you win the contest. It's having the most radios that lets you win the contest.
That's right. Yeah, and what you do,
and that's the final contest. Yeah,
is you get your mics up,
yes,
from all your different radios, and you this KM4OVZ, and you talk on like all of them at once.
You can become the world's best simulcaster.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So, but anyway, yeah, and now you just got to worry about all that coax and all that separation that you don't have out in the yard. But anyway, so that was really cool, and we're going to be talking about some of that kind of stuff. But what I want to tell you guys first in the shack, I've been having all those problems with my screens blinking out and everything. I bought a new 12 USB 3 adapter that takes 12 USB 3s and they all hook to the computer, and then it has its own power supply. And just before the show, I plugged every single thing into that and turned it all on, and it worked. So you just got to love that. We're actually on it right now. I just took it out of the Amazon box about 13 minutes ago. And I'm running all the cameras, all of my sound card, and also 2 of these 3 monitors you see up here, all running through that new device I just bought. So that's kind of cool. As far as the other stuff, I told you guys told you guys about most of this stuff. But this is the one I bought. It wasn't that bad. It was like 12 bucks, or I'm sorry, $26, I think it was. And it's 12. It's got a bunch of plugs on it, and it's all USB 3. It's 10 ports, USB 3.
Wow.
And really a good deal there. I like that. I also got this. This is something that Joseph and I have been talking about. We're going to be broadcasting, as Joseph's already been doing, and I've done it once already. We're going to be broadcasting when we get severe weather, and we want to be able to show webcams and things like that. So this is something new I'm going to try. This is an HDMI to USB 3 webcam adapter. And it basically is going to take my HDMI from my webcam system over here. I've got a high definition HDMI webcam system, and it's going to take that and put it into my computer, and then I can go and capture a portion, whichever camera I want or whichever multiple cameras I want. I can capture that, crop it down, and put it on the screen. And so that's going to be really cool. But that's an HDMI capture device, and that allows me to put HDMI directly onto the computer screen without using a camera, which is what I was doing before. I hate having to set up tripods and cameras to take pictures of screens. That's just so ghetto. And of course, I'm pretty close here, but I really would prefer to have something a little more direct, and this is it. So I got one of those. I'm going to try that tomorrow, sometime either before or after the contest, and see if I can get that going. I also bought another one of these that goes from the RCA composite plug into USB 3 webcam as well. And that's for my old security system. So I'm going to actually be able to put up to, I got 9 different cameras now to choose from that I can put up on online directly right onto my feed using this same thing that you're seeing here on my screen now. So I can't wait to try that out, and we will try that out at some point. Star Trek's on H&I. I'm trying to figure out which episode it is. Oh, I know which episode this is.
Well, which is it?
It's oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Hmm.
It's one where Kirk gets split in half.
Like the evil and good version?
Yeah, he gets split in half by the transporter, and they leave Sulu down on the planet. And because of the story, we had to forget the fact that we had shuttlecrafts. Isn't that funny how in science fiction sometimes they'll forget about something? It's like we're fighting the planet killer and the phasers aren't working, and we just forgot that we had photon torpedoes. We didn't try those. So, you know, those might have worked, but we didn't think about it at the time.
They were
yeah. These are really cool. These are little digital gauges. I don't know if I can get it to where you can even see it, but it's a little digital gauge. And you just
little voltage readout.
Yeah. All you do is hook it up to 12-volt power. You hook it up to 12-volt power, and it's a little digital display, and it reads out the voltage that you're feeding into it. It's just that simple. It comes in there's 5 different ones. I got 5 different ones, and they're in 5 different colors: blue, green, red, white, and yellow, I think. And so I'm actually going to mount, I'm making me a little panel right here, and I'm going to feed these from different places in the shack so I can keep a constant eye on my voltage, because I'm putting this whole 12-volt system in the shack. And I bought this. I got to tell you, you got to have this. If you don't have all the parts, I mean, you know, one of the worst things is not having parts. This thing has literally every kind of barrel connector, blade connector that you could possibly ever need. And thanks to China, this was like $19. I don't know.
I love kits like that have just tons of little parts in them. I love getting those.
I do too. And when they get down to about, and there's not a whole lot left, then I just dump them into a bucket somewhere and go buy another one. And I just keep doing, and I always have, I have one up there for it anyway. Yeah. And then the other stuff I got's no big deal. This is just spools of wire. The big thing is this thing. This is and I showed you guys this on the camera last week. So I'm not going to belabor the point here, but I just want to show you that I got the little fuse panel, and this top piece comes off somehow, and yeah, I think I need a screwdriver. But anyway, there's fuses go in here, and grounds go up here at the top, and then you got your fuses here for all your positives, and everything has its own fuse. This is getting mounted right underneath my console here. I got a board, and everything's just going to run out of it and go up to whatever is getting run, and everything's getting new wire. I bought 6-color wire. This is a single strand, you know, it's strand wire, automotive wire, 18 gauge, and it's in red, yellow, blue, green, purple, black, and white. And that way I can run all my wires to everything, and I can keep things straight. And I've already got some larger gauge wire. My radios, I'm using all the factory wire right to the fuse panel for the 3 factory radios I'm putting in here, and everything else will be wired on the appropriate wire. Most of it's going to be this smaller wire because it doesn't need to be really big. So, but anyway, that's what I got going on there, and looking forward to getting all this done tomorrow and the next day and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's even got little stickers. It's automotive fuse panels, so it's got things like cabin light and bait pump and bilge pump. I don't think I'm going to need some of those stickers.
I think that's for a boat.
If my shack needs a bilge pump, I'm in trouble.
You would need that in Tallahassee or Washington because they can make sure you get there is bilge.
So yeah, so that's what I got done there, and all that's going to go in. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll take some pictures and we'll do the whole thing, because right now what I have is embarrassing. I have this huge 30-amp power supply under here, and I have like 11 or 12 wires all stuck behind the positive pole, and the same 11 or 12 over here on the negative one, and it looks like two big, a red and a black flower on the front. It's terrible. I used to be a fire marshal. This is embarrassing. Anyway, so we'll just leave that there. I don't want to burn my shack down. So we're going to be doing all that. And I got all the, as you guys know, I bought that big, huge thing of Faraday barrels, and I put those ferrite traps.
Yeah.
And I put those ferrite traps on everything. I put like 45 of them on things. And I've eliminated my HF problem. I know they're not exactly the exact thing to use, but they worked for me. I put them on all of my peripherals, all of my computer peripherals. I wrapped through them and put them on there, and all my camera wires, all my power supplies, my 12 volt and my 110, everything. I put them on everything. And now I can transmit on any channel I want at full power, and I no longer have all my mouses going out or the screens blinking on and off. It looked like a disco in here, even worse than I got going on back there right now. Anyway, okay, so that's that, and that's the update on that. Tonight, for the topic, Joseph and I are going to kind of cover this, but this is one of those topics where we want to get everybody's input on this, because truthfully, it's not something that Joseph and I have a complete set of experience on. So we would like to get everybody's experience on it. But tonight we're going to talk about towers. We've talked about a lot about antennas over the last 2 years, and coming up on, believe it or not, we're over, we're coming up on June. October 1st, we will be doing this 2 years. So I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we're on show 80 something, I think, right now. It's been quick. All right, so anyway, I've got the radio tower deep dive, and we're going to just basically go through some of the basic types of towers, and then I want to ask each of you what kind of tower you have and what good and bad things you found about it, because again, I have a few here that I've put up, mostly junk that someone gave me, which I actually do a lot of good stuff with junk that people give me. But anyway, a lot of different things. Joseph is working with a pole right now that he's just put guy wires on, I think.
Yeah, I've got a 30-foot push-up pole, and it's actually a pretty standard pole. You can get them from a lot of different places, but it costs like $150, I think. So it wasn't that expensive, but it's 10-foot sections, and then it expands up to 30 feet, and you have a little screw that you tighten with a wrench or I have this little, I don't know what this thing is, but I found this some parts we had. And it has a hole in it, and I use it like a little wrench to torque it nice and tight. So you do that, you get it up in the air. The only problems that I would say I have with it is the lack of like any kind of rigidity when it comes to wind. So you do have to have guy wires. Also, if you have like a small antenna at the top, you don't necessarily need guy wires for most of the wind. It's only once you start getting heavier things up there that catch the wind more. That pole, even though the tubes are made out of like solid steel or something, that thing will bend. And I had it up during a snowstorm that happened a few months ago, and I was worried that it was going to come down. I mean, it was pretty. I had it strapped to the fence post pretty well, but it was bending in the wind quite a lot. So that's the main problem with push-up poles, is that they're just not that rigid, and they kind of sway in the wind a lot. But once you get a pair of guy wires, there's a little ring around each section. So there's 3 rings that have holes in them. And then you just get a swaging tool and the little metal crimps. I don't know what you call them, but the little crimps you put on there. And I've been able to set up guy wires just using some, I don't know, it's like threaded or stranded metal guy wire. And I just use that one at the top, and that just connects to various points on our property here. And you can anchor it to the side of a house or wherever you want to put it, really. And so overall, it's a pretty cheap solution, and it works pretty well for all my stuff. So that's what I have, I guess.
All right, well, there you go. Let's go to the, I just go real quick over here to the slides. I just have a few, but I just wanted to go through the basics. I learned a little bit myself today when I was putting this together. There's 4 basic types of structures that we normally would put things on. You've got, as we just talked about, the guide mast. And truthfully, the guide mast is probably the easiest thing to put up because it takes the least amount of specialized equipment. You've got a lattice tower or a freestander, and of course you see those around. There's one of those sitting over by the old building at the EOC. And there's a lot of cell phone towers that look like that. And then you got the monopole towers, which those are now, because I don't know if you know it or not, the monopole towers are more expensive to put up than the lattice towers. I thought that was some very interesting thing that I found today. I couldn't believe that when I saw it. I'm like, wow. But anyway, but those monopole towers, apparently they're holding up better in the wind and things like that. But also, I think towns are a little more likely to approve them to be put in different places because they're a little less intrusive, supposedly. And then, of course, you got building mounted. And with amateur radio, building mounting is the way to go because we a lot of times can't afford lease space on a structure. That gets expensive. And a lot of times we can get into a building somewhere sometimes and get in a lot cheaper. But those are basically the 4 types of structures that we have to deal with. And of course, we're going to be talking about ones for our house. So what I've done here is I've gone through and I've found some really cool antenna ideas out there that people have used. Now, going from left to right, that is a really neat system there. I don't know if that's something that somebody bought or built, but that's basically a crank up system where he has a cable that'll crank it up. And then, of course, it goes into that receiver and locks into place. That's a really neat system there. The one in the middle is a swing up, very similar to what Rick has. Yeah. Rick's Hex is up on something very similar to that right now.
Yeah.
And yours works great, Rick. I know I helped you put it up.
Yep. So easy to put up, should be easy to bring down. Yep.
Now I will tell you, with that big old Hex on there, it took 3 of us to get it up. And it took everything 3 of us had to get it up. Yeah, there's a dirty joke there, but I won't say it. Anyway, see, I do have self-control. You guys, the rumors were wrong. All right. The next one over, that's kind of how I do things, all nice and permanent like. But of course, the problem with that is once you put it up, you're climbing every time you're fixing something or changing something out. And you lose the ability to turn that thing over onto its side and everything. The 2 at the bottom and the one on the right are all basically the same kind of design. Those are actually, I'm sorry, the one on the lower left and the one on the far right are both telescoping. Those actually, there's a handle you twist or a motor you turn on, and it actually pushes that thing up. You can see it folds down into itself, just like the old CB antennas in the 70s. that we had on our little portables that you would pull up, you know, the antenna. It's basically the same thing there. The one there in the middle bottom, that's an interesting situation. That's a rotator tower. The entire tower rotates. If you notice, the cables go into a ring, not into the tower. The entire tower, and the guy wires have to clear the Yeagis all the way around. So there's a lot of planning that has to go into one of these.
Wow.
But that entire tower sits on a single point at the bottom, and it has a rotating motor on it, and it rotates.
Man,
the
that must be
entire tower.
That must be a pretty big rotator they got down there.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But yeah, that's something pretty cool. And then of course, this looks like more like something I'd probably have.
What is that?
That's that on the left. There's my dream shack. I mean, look at
like
that.
They just took a helicopter and said, bloop, and dropped it on top of a house.
I don't know. I can only imagine there has to be poles in there holding the roof up or something. But anyway,
find on top of a mountain someplace, just like the one in the middle.
Truth is, it probably goes down to the ground inside the house, I would assume. But that almost looks like a house built around a tower, not a tower put on top of a house. But anyway, who knows? They did that with lighthouses. Why not radio towers? Okay, yeah. And the middle one there, that's the guy that loves VHF right there, boy. He is a VHF guy.
Well, now here's what I don't get about the VHF guy. Those antennas all look like they're the same. So unless he's monitoring,
I know. I don't know what he's doing there.
He's got like 5
VHF outhouse.
He's got like 5 Ringo Rangers up there or something. Why no directional? Looks like he's on a mountain. Because
I think you're right, Rick. This is the guy that takes a dump with 19 radios.
Oh, maybe the whole shack rotates.
There you go. That's what it is. The whole shack rotates. I love it. And then, of course, that last guy there doing something that, you know, I used to do the high angle rescue team stuff. I rappelled off the Civic Center and things like that. And we used to do stuff. And now I'm 51 years old. And if I walk up to a 3rd-story banister fast enough, I'll get sick. So I could only imagine that I won't be doing any of that kind of stuff.
That's a bat wing antenna used for VHF TV broadcasting.
Yep. And I can only imagine, God, he looks like he's about 5,000 feet in the air, but I don't think he's probably about 1,000 feet up. That's usually about how high they are.
Man, you got to be really patient and have good arms to climb all that way up there.
Well, that's 999 feet that I'm not going up.
Yeah. Most of these towers have either a cable lift system or a box lift system or whatever.
Some of them have an elevator.
Yeah, like it's like a box that you kind of get in. It's not a complete elevator type thing, but it's like a platform elevator that goes up and down. I watched, there's a neat video of that they did of when they put up the NBC2 tower. And it was a real good video. I don't know if it's still up. I think it is. Oh, that's hilarious. Let me show you guys that. Did you see this? They put this guy's mural up on the side of the water tower. And then so somebody decides, hey, you know what would be funny? It'd be funny if we shot a hole right where the pee would come out.
Oh.
Yeah, the Johnny Cash thing. Yeah. So,
is this hilarious or what? I mean, you can't write this stuff, dude.
Making a whiz, man. That's
you can't write this stuff. I mean, come on. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah. So that was that. But yeah, I'm looking. The NBC2 tower video is really good, but I don't actually see it up here. I figured it would still be up.
It's not still there. There were several videos online of building big towers. I mean, the WEAU tower up in Wisconsin is 2,000 feet, and they got video on that. That's an enormous tower, TV tower.
That's weird that it's not coming up. I would have liked to play that for you.
And there's also some videos on there of the helicopters lifting the antennas onto the top of the tower.
That's the one that's actually the one I'm looking for. And if this isn't it, I'm going to just move on. But I think this might be it here.
There's one for a station in Fort Pierce too, I think. There's several of those.
Nope, that's not it either. So, okay. Well, anyway, we got to see the peeing tower. That's good enough, I guess. We'll just have to call it done with that. Okay.
The big whiz.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, there you go. So that's what we got. What I want to do now is I'll start with mine and I'll tell you guys what I have and what I found works for me, as far as towers go. And then we'll kind of move on to each person, because we each have a different kind of tower that we're using. And that includes if you're putting them in your attic or on your roof or hanging them from a tree in your yard. Tell us what you're using. We're not necessarily talking about the antennas tonight. We're talking about the towers or the method you're using to raise it above the ground. So that, let us know what you're doing. Basically what I did was, I was over at the swap shop and the guys had all these tower sections laying there they were getting rid of. They couldn't take them down, so they cut them up. They cut them in like, I think they cut it in 3 pieces. And I ended up getting these towers and making 3 towers out of it. I've got, 2 right now. One of them is about 20 feet up here, and then I got a big 10-foot PVC pole that comes out of the top of that, and then I got a Ringo Ranger on top of that with a Yagi right below it, that I use to get the Charlotte County stuff. And then I have another, the top part of that same tower is buried 2 feet in the ground out by my front gate, and I've got 2 cameras, a light, and another Ringo Ranger on that one, and it's at about 22 feet at the deck, and then I got an 8-foot pole and the Ringo's on top of that, so it's at 30 feet too. So that's what I've got, and those I don't have to use guy wires on because both of them, the one in the back here is connected to the building, got a big bracket around it, and the one in the front's buried 2 feet down in the ground, and there's nothing. Even if a hurricane came, it's just going to bend it over about halfway, and that's probably
How
where
would
you'll
you,
find it.
how did you get it
But-
in the ground? Is it like set in concrete or a hole dug, or how'd you
Nope,
get it
I
in
just
the-
dug a hole. I dug a hole.
and then
Yeah,
filled
it's
the
about 2.5 feet actually. It's more than 2 feet. It's about 2.5 feet in the ground. I used post hole diggers, and I dug down and got down there and in the water and stuck the tower down in there and just filled it back up and packed it tight. And I figured, let me see how that goes for a while. It's only, it's not that high. And so let me try that. So I did, I put all the stuff on it and everything. It's fine. It's perfect. It doesn't need anything else. So if I concrete it in, I can't take it down. Right now, I could, in about 20 minutes, my son-in-law could dig that thing out and I could lay it over and work on it. So that's because I'm not going up any higher than that. I'm probably not going to concrete it in. So,
okay.
and then my main tower is a 20-foot oil derrick. It's a freestander. I bought it off of Lambie up there in Charlotte County. And Tom Lambie, he's a great guy. I bought it off of him, gave me a great price on it, and it sits on 4 bricks, and then I've got it guyed off because I don't have it. If I had the bottom anchored properly, I wouldn't need guy wires on it, but I got guy ropes on it because I don't have it anchored properly. So that's what's wrong with that one. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. So I got 3 towers. So let's go on. Rick, let's go to you. I know you got a lean over tower. Tell us about your different systems you're using.
Yeah, okay. Let me share my screen and then I can describe it for you.
Share away.
Too bad that I didn't take a picture of the bottom of it. I'll have to do that. This is my Hex Beam, which is on a Penninger radio tipper. This thing wasn't cheap, but I was determined to put up something that was stout. The wall diameter is this 2-inch diameter aluminum pole. This stuff is stout. It's
I was
the outer
surprised
wall
how thick it was, actually. It's very thick walled.
is very thick walled. It's a lot thicker than Schedule 40, which a lot of people say they put the things up on. Well, I wasn't satisfied with that. With the rotor going on top and everything, I wanted this thing with it. I'm originally from Florida, so I know the weather can get rather rambunctious down here. In addition to the fact that I wanted something that I could get down in the event there's a hurricane. And so there's a pulley on there I can let go of those guy wires and bring that thing down if I loosen the bottom. It's a Penninger radio tipper. It's the biggest one they got. And I went ahead and put it, like I said, the outside walls of the bottom pole is what did we say, 3/8 inches, and then the top pole is a 1/4 inch thick. So like I said, that's not something you could pick up at your local Home Depot or anything. And anyway, but the thing will come down, and of course Ian can attest to the fact that it's a tipper type thing. Like I said, too bad I didn't get the picture of the bottom. I've got some pictures around here. I just don't have them handy.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna snatch the screen back from you.
Right.
I think I found one. This is their website here.
Yeah,
Penninger Radio.
yeah,
I've actually never been to their website, so this is cool.
yeah,
But it's a system basically like this one, I believe.
yeah. It's
Well, that's a hitch mount tipper. That's actually for a receiver.
You want to go down into tipper mass. It's the roll it down a little bit. That's the hitch mount.
I must be on the wrong page.
No, you're on the right page. Go down where it says Ham Military Commercial. Yeah, go to the Ham Military Commercial. You saw it there. All right, hang over to the right. Go to tipper masts. Oh, come on. It's got to be in there somewhere. It's got to be in there. Of
Yeah,
course,
they may
we're
be
trying
out
to
of
show
them.
it and can't find it.
They may be out of them, Rick. A lot of places are out of everything right now.
Yeah, roll it down. There's a multiple bunch of pages you can see.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
Yeah, here's just the next one. It's gonna be in there. Bring it on down some more. Try the next one. There you go. Roll it on down. Yeah. Roll
That's
it
kind of
down.
like what you have there.
Yeah. That heavy duty one, TJHD 250. Right on the right. That's the guy.
Yeah, and I had a chance to use this, and it was pretty nice. I mean, he's got it mounted instead of to a wall. He's got it mounted to a large piece of wood. Like, was it 6x6?
Okay, the 6x6 is 8 feet long. 4 feet of it is buried in the ground. So that's pretty stout. This is nothing. They recommended a winch. Well, I don't have a winch, but
no, but we got it up there barely. I tell you, if that hex beam was 5 pounds heavier, we wouldn't have got it up that day.
Yeah, I've actually got another section I could have put it on there and got it up a little higher, and I decided against putting it on there because for that very reason. I knew you'd have
needed 2 more neighbors.
Yeah, we'd have needed 2 more neighbors and one of those tanks from the war. To get the thing up. Not one of those destroyed Russian tanks either. But anyhow, we got the thing up there.
Yeah, you know how you can tell it's a Russian tank? It's out of gas. Anyway,
it looks like a shambles. That's how you know what a Russian.
All right, I'll stop. I promise. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's that one there, and I like that setup. It works great, and like you said, you can go up higher with it if you need to. It's just you may have to have a more fortified way of getting it up rather than just having us pull on ropes like
I'd have to put a winch.
And you put some thin guide ropes on it too, just in case.
Yeah.
Because with that big hex up there, it's a little bit.
Yeah, well, they said you want to put guys in there, so I've got. What I did was pull them out and double guide it. In other words, I pull a guy, I put the guy in the center of the piece of rope and pull one end off one way and another end off the other way. So there should be 6 guys up there on the thing instead of just 3. but it's been pretty stable. And we've had some wind around here, but it's hung in there.
Yeah, and just to mention, as of today, the next 10 days, we're going to be in an August type pattern. So we
Yep.
could see thunderstorms every day for the
Yep.
next week, a little over a week. We've seen one little blast of rainy season come early, and now we're getting another blast of rainy season come early. Normally, we don't start getting steady rain till about June 15th, and
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
it holds
usually
off till July
June
1st. So,
15th before we get
uh,
any rain, but we've been getting it this year. So I
Yeah.
hope that's not a bad omen for the hurricane season, but it certainly is an interesting situation.
well, and if you guys hang out till later in the second half, in the news section, I do have some things going on with the tropics. You remember Katrina, that little old storm Katrina?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, remember that little one? Well, anyway, that storm, the reason it was so strong and the reason it hurt and killed so many people in Louisiana was because of the loop current that runs up through the Gulf of Mexico. And this year looks just like 2006.
yeah.
And so they're very concerned about that.
Uh,
And we're looking at a busier than normal season anyway. So it's definitely
we're in a
the
La
Northern Gulf. Remember last year, the Northern Gulf was getting hit like constantly. Remember the last couple of years, Northern Gulf, Northern Gulf, Northern Gulf. If that
Yeah.
happens this year with that loop current, they're going to get a major storm up there. But we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Let's go around. Who else wants to tell us about their antenna? We've heard about Joseph's, we've heard about mine, we've heard about Rick's. Who else wants to talk about their antenna system that they're using? Or one you used to use, and don't hold back. Tell us how good it is or how sucky it is.
My massive tower consists of a tripod that I bought from Home Depot that's probably about 3 feet tall. It has feet on the bottom, small feet that have holes in them, and I drove rebar through those to secure it to the ground, and then I used combination of galvanized pipe and plastic pipe to get my antenna up about 15, 20 feet, something like that.
There you go. Yeah, I'm using. I got two of those tripods. I actually have like the big speakers, to do the wedding singer type stuff, and I actually have two big, huge production tripods. And ever since I got in the ham radio, I haven't used them to put speakers on. They're out there right now with poles stuck all on them, and one's my Hex Beam sitting on one right now out in the front yard, and my aircraft antenna is on one out in the back. So I love those big pipe like tripods. They work pretty good, and they're also great if you're doing a portable setup. Like what you have would work for a portable setup too.
Right. I know most of the time when we talk about towers and antennas, it seems like, everybody says the higher the better, but is there something to be said about the height being like a half wave or a quarter wave or a full wave? Is there any advantage to that?
Yeah, there is. For HF antennas, especially on the lower frequencies, you are recommended, I believe, to have it like a multiple of the wavelength. So it doesn't have to be a quarter wave. You could choose if you want quarter wave or 5/8 wave, or like say you're running a dipole that's strung horizontally. I think you're supposed to do it so that the distance to the ground is one of those commonly used multiples of the wavelength. So 5/8 or quarter or half. And I think that improves your, like, I don't know what you want to call it. Not necessarily ground wave propagation. I mean, that's more 80 meters, but it does sort of just improve the antenna's, I don't know what you want to call it, like relationship with the ground. It makes it better to have it at a wavelength. So there's definitely something to be said for that.
I just did.
So if you have a beam or something that's 10, 15, or 20, I suppose you'd have to. Ideally, there's a certain height that would be optimal for that.
You like 10, 15, 20 meters.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you had that, I mean, you just have to pick a band that you wanted it to be a certain multiple of the wavelength off of. I mean, for a directional antenna, I'm not sure if it matters as much because you have you have both sides of the, hold on, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. You have both sides of the
Lobe.
Yeah, both sides of the lobe on the mast. So when you transmit horizontally or vertically with the Yagi, you don't really interact with the ground at all. Whereas with a dipole, some of that energy is going down and it is sort of going ground wave, I think. So
Yeah, I do
mean,
know.
Yeah.
I know it's different with the horizontal dipoles. I know with the Hex Beam, I just did a lot of studying with that, and they recommend a minimum of 20 feet, and they recommend 35 feet for a 10 through 40 or 10 through 20 hex. They recommend 35 feet, which is about where I'm going to have mine. But I'll tell you, I have it at 12 feet right now, and I'm getting into the Middle East on a regular basis.
Yeah,
So
I mean, mine's at
it works good.
22 and it's doing great. So
Yeah. So it does, and but the relationship to the ground does matter, and of course with ground wave stuff, VHF, UHF, height is might. It makes all the difference in the world, with one exception. In ham radio, if you put your VHF, if you get a really good VHF antenna, and you put that VHF antenna way up high, 50, 55 feet in the air, you're going to end up getting all these other repeaters, and you're going to have to keep your PL receive on all the time, or you're just going to literally get, faded signals coming in.
Yeah, that's definitely true. When I had my Yagi up on the 30-foot back in Florida, no matter like when I tried to talk it to Miami, which is what I did most of the time, there was like 2 other repeaters that it would pick up. So I had to turn on the PL decode. Otherwise,
Right.
I'd be hearing other stations ID and everything. It was really annoying.
I think that when you get in that 40 foot range right there for UHF, that's where I try to get my stuff, try to get my antennas up in around 40, 45 feet up in that area. And then once I get to there, I feel like I can get to all the repeaters with my base radio that I need to get to. And, the simplex works really good from there. So, all right. Who's next?
Well,
Anybody want to go next?
yeah, I'm Dave
Go ahead,
here,
Dave.
DBI. I have a medium grade Roan tower that's 2 sections up about 20 feet on a base unit that's it's hinged, and I got that attached with anchors in concrete. And with the mast and everything, I figure I'm probably up about 30 feet. And with my Hex Beam, and that worked great.
That's pretty cool. I'll tell you, whatever gets you off the ground, that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah, it's attached to the house too with a bracket.
Yeah, those Ron towers or Roan, I'm not sure how you say it, but they make a lot of people use their stuff. I want to get one of the on our land when we're finally done. I want to get a what was it? What was the kind of the tower with the 4 legs and it kind of sort of tapers up? What was that type called?
Oh, like a freestander or a lattice tower.
Yeah, freestander. Like then you don't have to do guy wires and you can still get plenty of height out of it. You just got to have a lot of room. That's the downside. But if you have room already, then it seems like that'd be the way to go. Then you could climb it too. Because
Oh, wow,
I mean,
these are cool. I'm sorry, I'm totally like doing something else. Look at this. I just hooked up that little digital thing that I bought.
oh, cool.
Because I'm impatient and I can't wait. It's like, put that away till you're done eating your dinner. But I couldn't help it. I had to hook it up. It works. 13.7 volts. 1.21 gigawatts. All right.
I don't think they make a meter that reads up that high.
Oh yeah, I got a 1.21 gigawatts transmitter over here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. It's huge. All right.
Turn it on, you'll find out where it is.
That's right. Yeah, it's so will NASA. All right. So who's next? Who wants to tell us about their tower or your elevation system, I should say?
I got
All right.
nothing. I'm an apartment dweller, so
Oh, well, we can just sit around and badmouth homeowners associations if you want. We actually
Sure.
love doing that on this net.
Yeah, apartment, that's all
But I
there's-
think we've said everything that probably could possibly be said at this point, except the F word maybe. But anyway, yeah, the homeowners associations are just, God, they're a pain in the ass. But it's one of those things, you know. It's a give and take, like everything else. You want to live somewhere where a lot of stuff's taken care of, and then they're going to be jerks about other things. Oh well. Oh, what am I getting over here? I forgot I left it. I got somebody answering me over here.
So you have-
I can't help it. I'm working FT8 while I'm doing the show. That's my crack over there, man.
Hey, Ian,
Yeah.
did you say you're going to participate in the VHF thing tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah. From the shack.
Okay. How can you determine grid square when you're out mobile? Is there an app or?
Yeah, just
yeah.
open up repeater book. So look at this. If you have repeater book installed
I do.
and you tell it, you give it your location, every time you open the app, it'll automatically tell you your grid square. So mine says EM64PT right there. And
Oh,
even
cool.
as you travel, it will live update. So just keep this open and it will live update your grid square as you move around.
What's the name of that app?
It's called
Repeater book?
repeater book. Yeah, repeater book. It's got the little looks like some radio transmissions there with the red icon. Red, there it is. Repeater
Gotcha.
book.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And
Let's give it-
there's other ones too. But that's probably one of the better ones. The thing in Charlotte County, they're using the grid square, the 6-digit grid square. Normally in contesting, we only use 4 digits. But the reason we're using 6 digits is because it's a micro scale contest. We're doing it in a much smaller. Normally a contest is worldwide or nationwide or continent wide. This one is just regional wide. So we're going to use all 6 digits. And then you would say high power. If you guys want, we can take a few minutes and go through that. I don't think there was anybody else that wanted to talk about their tower. So if you guys give me just 1 second here, I'll pull this up and we can talk about it real quick.
Mine, when I open up repeater book, it appears to not be giving me what I thought. I'm temporarily at a new location here. I had to move out of my rental, and I thought I had my grid square correct, but according to
Well-
repeater book,
There's a button in the top right. It's like a circle with a dot through it. If you push that, you want to make sure there's no line crossing it out. If there's a line crossing it out, that means it's not using your current location. So in the top right,
allow location access or search to set.
yeah, you're gonna have to let it access location.
Just got mine right.
Okay.
Repeater book is an app every ham should have on their phone. It is
Yep.
very useful.
There's two apps I recommend, that one and the Ham Radio Toolkit. I like that one because that's one I use for building all my antennas.
Mine says location access denied for some reason.
Are you
It
on
must be
iPhone?
turned off in your phone. You
I
have
have
to
an
give
iPhone,
you have
yes.
to. Oh well, then you got to put a quarter in somewhere.
Yeah. Do you have an Apple Pay set up on there? Because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, yeah. For $12, you can tell you where you're at.
Come on, don't be I need Dave back here so he can.
Here, I
support-
can help. I
Where
can
is
help you.
Dave? Dave's
Yeah,
our
where's
Apple,
Dave?
our Apple guy. Where's Dave at?
Here, if you need help, I can tell you how to fix it. I have an iPhone too.
Icky
Yeah,
pokey.
please.
Okay, so you go into settings, and from the home settings area, you look for the blue hand symbol that says privacy. And then you have a list of apps there, and you want to hit the top that says location services. And then
It's
from
on.
there,
Yeah.
it's already on. Well, yeah, it'll be on, but then you need to scroll through the apps that you have installed until you see repeater book, and you want it to say while using the app. It probably says never right now, or ask next time or something.
Does say never.
There you go. There's your problem right there.
There you go. Look at that.
Most people, when that pops up on no matter what the app is, it's instinctive to just push no, you cannot have my location. That's happens a lot.
All right, let's do this. We're gonna go through. We're gonna go to the TechNet newsletter now. If you guys don't get the newsletter, all you got to do is just send me an email and just put subscribe. That's all you got to put in there. Just type subscribe, and I'll put you on the list. I'll take you off anytime. This comes out every Friday, and it is probably one of the most complete weekly publications in ham radio. And yes, I'm tooting my own horn slightly here because I put a lot of effort into this thing.
I'm a biased third party, and I can say that yes, it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's really not much in the way of news publications that come out for ham radio. There just really isn't. And so I came up with one that if you literally get this every week and look down through it, you'll know everything there is to know about ham radio for that weekend. It's designed for that coming weekend, pretty much. So anyway, here we go. We're going to go down through it here, and the tropical update. There's nothing going on right now. It's still early, but the tropical update is back in the newsletter. So now every Friday when it comes out, you'll get what's going on for the next 7 days. On the forecast, and you'll get graphics and everything else here. I want to remind everybody that all of our hurricane stuff is powered by Mike's weather page, which is probably the best, single point resource for hurricane information on the internet, and it's done by a private man, not a corporation. So I really like that website, spaghettymodels.com. And the tropical analysis, this is what I was going to show you guys. This is that loop current, and the full articles here, you can link to it. There's a link to it right here if you want to read the full article. But basically, this loop current looks just like it did back when Katrina came through, and so that's what's got them a little bit worried. If something were to come up over the tip of Cuba there and emerge right over that loop current, where the current's going up, looping, and then coming back down right over almost the same area, there's just a lot of energy there, and they're a little bit concerned about that because they're worried that one's going to emerge. This loop current also, by the way, goes down through the Florida Straits, through the Keys, and up the east coast of Florida as well. That's what caused the rapid intensification of Andrew just before it came on shore, was this loop current. So anyway, that's there's, like I said, more if you want to read about that. But let's talk about this. This is the local event that's going on over the weekend. It's only for 4 hours. It's a small event, local event, and it's a short duration event. So what's great about this is all the action will be concentrated into 4 hours, and then you can call it done. It's VHF only. It's FM only. And you can use any authorized FM 2-meter channel that we're allowed to use that's not a repeater, not WinLink, not connected to the internet, none of that kind of stuff. Basically, no matter where you're at, you can participate in this. Any ham can participate. You don't have to be a member of Aries or CC Flares or any of the other groups or anything to do this. You can do this. All you need is a ham license. Any ham license will do. And then here you go. All we're going to do here is, you can tell it's Friday night. There's like traffic stops all going on outside my house. Anyway, basically, when this thing starts at noon, you'll just go on just like a regular contest, and you can either answer CQs or call CQs or both. You can do it however you want to do it. But what you'll basically do down here at the bottom, I've got all the frequencies. We are not using the national calling frequency of 146.520. Generally, that frequency is left out of contesting. But all these other frequencies are in play. They don't say that you have to use these frequencies, but these are the ones they're posting. Normally, when a contest posts, and this is a good thing to remember, normally when a contest posts frequencies, that's pretty much what everybody's going to use, because that's where they figure they're going to find other people. And usually the frequencies towards the beginning of the list tend to be the busier ones. So I wouldn't like start with 570 down there at the end. I would start up at the top and work my way down. I'm going to be using my FT100
frequency. They got a private family
Yeah.
frequency on there.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Hope we don't
terrible.
disturb you guys up there.
Yeah, up
Yeah,
here.
I know. All right, so this is basically it's being put on by cars and by CC flares, and that's of course that's the Charlotte County Emergency Group and the Charlotte County Club, both of which I recommend, and I'm a member of myself. Saturday, May 21st, that's tomorrow, runs 4 hours, starts from noon, goes to 4 p.m. It's limited to FM simplex, as I said, on the 2-meter band. No calling frequency. Contacts using a repeater or echo link don't count, and participate must if you're either mobile or you're fixed. You cannot like be in the shack for 2 hours and then say this isn't working. Oh good. Stephen got him. Oh good. All right, I'll have to tell everybody the story of that later. No, it's all right. Guys, we've had a mama kitty walk up in our house about a month ago, and she had her kittens, and she actually came in our house and had her kittens in our house. And so she had 3 kittens. So we're taking care of the 3 kittens and the mama. And last night she got a hair up her little feline, you know what? And she went and took one of the cats across the street and put him under our neighbor Richie's house. Like, why would she do that? I don't know, because she's confused. Whatever. She's a first-time mama, last-time mama, and she's getting fixed as soon as we don't. She's not giving them her milk anymore. We're gonna get her fixed. But they're about 3 weeks old, and the white one was missing all day, and it's been storming here since this morning, and we were really worried about it. She just showed me they've got it, so. All 3 of them are now accounted for again, and we're going to lock them in a bedroom tonight where she can't take them anywhere. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to this. The exchange. This is real easy. The exchange, everybody that does contesting, and I know this because when I started doing contesting, I was always like, oh my God, I'm going to screw this exchange up, and they're going to think I'm the biggest idiot in ham radio.
Oh, I know the
And you know what
feeling.
you find out is, I know, but you know what? It's not like that. Really, it's not. And I'm gonna tell you why. People that are contesting, they want you to be good at contesting. They're not gonna treat you like a jerk. It's very rare that a contester treats another contester like a jerk. These guys will be like, yep, QSO, QSO, QSO. And then some new guy will come on and screw it all up, and he'll go, no, but I need your state, and then I need your power. And they'll help you. I mean, they're really cool about it. I found contesters to be a great bunch. I was told early on, you got to watch those contesters. They're a bunch of jerks. That is not true. They want you to get good at it. They want you to be there to be the person they call every time. It makes sense. So I like contesting. This one's going to be really good because this particular contest is local. It's all people around here that we know, and we're all going to be helping everybody. It's half drill and half contest, which I think. I told Dwayne, I wrote him a letter yesterday to make sure he wanted me to promote this and everything on everywhere. And I told him, I said, I thought this was the neatest thing since peanut butter. I wish we did stuff like this in Lee County. But we don't. Let's see here. I would love to put something like this together in Lee County, but you need to have a lot of people that would be participating in it, or it doesn't work. And they've got a big group up there that's going to be participating. All right, power levels. If you're 5 watts or less, you're a QRP. So in other words, you're going to give your exchange. Your exchange is 3 items. You give your call sign, your 6-character grid square, and your operating from power level, or from where you're operating from, and then your power level. Mobiles must be within the mini grid square that they're operating from. So in other words, for me right here, I would say Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Foxtrot Sierra, and then the person would answer me back, KO4EFS, and I'd say KO4EFS Echo Lima 96 Bravo Romeo high power. That's it. That's all I gotta do. I just did the whole exchange right there. That's it. And then he comes back and he'll say 10-4 KO4E, or not 10-4. Oh, I just went all CB.
10-4, good buddy.
He'll come back and yeah, I know. I get a demerit or something for that, don't I?
It's 1 demerit on your permanent amateur radio record.
I was told if I could lose my ham license for using that CB crap.
Who told you that?
But anyway, I don't know. I don't know who told me that. I think it was FCC. Anyway, So, but anyway, so that's all you have to do is you call, and then when they call you back, they'll say, copy KO4EFS or QSL, whatever. And then they'll say, they'll give their grid square. I'm EL96BR, high power. And he'll say, good luck, have a good day or whatever. And that's the end of it. It's literally that quick. And that counts as a contact. And let me tell you something else that's cool about this. This all goes in your logbook.
Mm.
This is all simplex contacts. It all goes in your logbook. So when you're done at the end of the day, you would log these in your QRZ logbook or however you do your logging. If you're unfortunate enough to have HRD or however you do it, you would log it in that there and then send it up to Logbook of the World, and those all count as contacts. So I thought that's pretty cool. I'm trying to build my logbook. I've been working on my logbook for a long time. And I think it's a real fun part of amateur radio. And I got to tell you, for those of you who have not started your logbook yet, what are you waiting on? It's sitting there. It's already on your QRZ page. You don't even have to like start it. It's there. It's already waiting for you.
I
Just
wish
go
Dave
there
was
right
here.
now.
I have to get
Why?
I have to get a contact. He logged a contact with me in QRZ, but I don't remember when it took place. So I tried to confirm it, and it kept telling me it must be within 30 minutes. So he has to tell me what
Yeah,
his
it'll do
says.
that. If QRZ has the same log entry as yours for someone else, what they'll do is they'll match it up. And if it doesn't match up, then they'll give you both an opportunity to fix the error. And that's what that is. And then they'll just ask you, look, the time didn't work. What time did this really happen? And sometimes you can figure it out. Sometimes you just, whatever, I just go on and let it go.
Ian, are
yeah,
you going
QRZ,
to call
man.
CQ, or are you going to just scan those frequencies?
I do
What's your
both.
strategy?
I do both. I like to do both. I generally answer CQ more than I call because I'm a younger ham. I'm a newer guy. And I generally, a lot of times on these contests, I'm running lower power than a lot of the guys I'm talking to. So for that reason, I generally answer CQs. I like to work the pileups. But I'll also tell you, last couple of field days, once I got comfortable in the evening and the bandwidths opened up a little bit and it got a little easier and I got a little better at it and I broke in a little bit, I started calling CQ and it was fun. I started working.
Are
around
you
pileups.
anticipating there's going to be pileups on these frequencies?
No, not for this contest. There may be little ones here and there, but we're probably talking about 100 participants at the most.
Okay.
So it's not.
And they're going to
be...
spread out over probably all
Yeah,
over.
I was actually very surprised that they put out this many frequencies. I would have probably just put out like 6 or 7, but it seems like a lot of frequencies for such a small contest. But I'm going to start on 146 400. I'm going to work on those first 6 or 8 frequencies. That's probably what most everybody's going to do.
Okay. So. Thank you.
But yeah, I'm going to do it. Now, I will tell you, if you're behind me, I'm going to have a hard time hearing you because I'm going to be using my dual 7-element 2-meter Yagis that I've got mounted. I have 2 7-element Yagis that I built out of PVC pipe and pieces of aluminum. And they work really, really well. And I'm going to be shooting those to the north. They do reject almost everything out of the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a second radio over here. I'm going to run another one of my Yazoos here over here, and it's going to be on a different frequency, and I'm going to have it on the Omni. And I've got an Omni on one side of my property and my Yagi over here. So I'm going to be using them both at the same time, basically, one to monitor and one to, use. But yeah, I'm just going to play around with it. I think it'll be fun. I've never done one like this. This is my first like local contest or whatever. That's why I told them it was, I really think this is a good idea. I think this is just one hell of an idea. And I told Dwayne that. I said, man, this is just a really good idea. So hopefully you guys will all join us tomorrow. If nothing else, just dial around and see if you can make a few contacts. You don't have to turn your logbook in if you don't want to. If you, we're just emailing them to Dwayne when we're done. It's not a big deal. Anyway, all right. Does anybody have any more questions on the local event that's coming up? All right, let's move on. Space weather. The old Venus probe is going to crash back to Earth. Back in 1972, the Soviet Union launched this probe that was going to go to Venus. Well, it didn't quite make it that far. It never broke orbit, actually. And so that's now, they've been plotting this thing for a while, and they are just about to the point where they can figure out when it's going to come down. It's going to be sometime between 2024 and 2026. What makes this different than other things? We have space junk falling down all the time. What makes this different? This particular spacecraft was designed to survive entry into Venus's atmosphere. So this thing is going to be built to make re-entry into a planet. The part of this will make it to the ground. So hopefully it's not your house or mine. Anyway, I don't know if you know it or not, the chance of one of these falling on a house is like 1 in 20 or 1 in 50 or something. It's pretty low.
Oh, that's pretty high.
And
That's
then the
pretty
chances,
high.
yeah, but that's 1 in 50 to land on a house. Now to land on your house, that's 1 in 50 trillion. So it's
Yeah.
really not so bad. Anyway, the next one is the active sunspot region. I want you guys to look at this. I thought this was excellent. The distance between Earth and the moon, as you guys know, is 1 LD or 1 lunar distance. Okay. The sunspot we're talking about here is literally it's literally about 0.3 lunar distance. The sunspot. And what they've done here to kind of show you is they took the sunspot and they drew it in here between the Earth and the moon at the size it actually is. That sunspot takes up 1/3 of the space between here and the moon. That is one hell of a big sunspot, and it's facing right towards us. It threw out some M-class flares today. We have been seeing a rise in the solar flux, and that's been really good. Let me see if it's gone up again. Nope, it's actually gone down a little bit. We were up at 171 earlier. We're down to 166 now on the solar flux, and something else has happened that's not good for amateur radio. The geomagnetic field has gone from a K index of 2 and quiet to a K index of 4 and active. When you get a K index of 4 or higher, it begins to disrupt the ionosphere and that very important layer that we use to bounce signals back and forth to each other. So anyway, but when we start getting these big sunspots, it's great because it brings our solar flux up. But then for a shorter period of time, it's going to also mess up our geomagnetic field, which is going to also degrade those signals that we're trying to send out. All right. Any questions on that or questions so far? Anything I can answer? Okay. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I try. All right. I'm not going to dwell on the space weather because we just went through that, and that space weather's from this morning. I just want to show you guys briefly for our local area here. There's something you haven't seen in 6 months. Rain all 10 days. So there you go. Yep. Let's see for this week's funny boners. I tell you what, I loved all 3 of these. This one here. So I bought a new radio, and it says, "So you're going to sell the old ones?" Yeah, that makes me laugh too when my wife says stuff like that. And I love this one here. The alien says, and then he said I should get off the frequency because the net starts in 10 minutes. I guess I'm the only one that finds this stuff funny. And this is one of my cats here. He says, I don't always buy radios, but when I do, I throw the radio away and sit in the box. I thought that was pretty funny. All right, the world of DX is in here. The swap shop is not until June. There's no swap shop in the second half of May. And there's only one in June because of Winterfield Day and because of the holiday. All right. Ham Radio News. Military is exploring the use of HF in the Indo-Pacific region. And it's some interesting reading there. I'm glad that the military discovered HF finally. It's pretty cool. There's some other news in here. There's nothing really that I want to read out, but it's all in there if you guys want to check it out. I also have added this section to the newsletter every week. It's amateur radio special events. I found that there's a lot of special events out there. Every weekend there's special events. And so I'm going to start posting these because a lot of these are things you can call. They're things you can send off and do, and things you can participate in either online or on the radio or both. So I'm going to start posting these every week. So when you get bored, you can just run down through them and see what's going on. So I just thought that was kind of cool. And amateur radio license map. This was a really cool website that I found a while back. This website allows you to put in a call sign or an address or whatever, and it brings up a map and shows you where all the other registered call signs are in your neighborhood. And I thought that was a really cool thing, so that you can be what I call a propagation voyeur, and you can drive around and see what antennas all your neighbors have. But anyway, that's called Ham Info. You can see the link for it right there. But that's the amateur radio license map. And you don't need my call sign at the end there. I didn't necessarily need to have that on there. But if you put that on there, it'll just start at my house. Anyway, there you go. Oh, look, there we are on the TV. All right, and things to know. The Reverse Beacon Network is something you can check out. I don't use it as much as PSK Reporter and some other things, but it's another neat website out there that tries to aggregate and then provide you in a reasonable format propagation information out there. And I thought that this is a pretty good website. It's called the Reverse Beacon Network. There's a link in the newsletter, or you can just search for Reverse Beacon Network and it'll come right up. That's pretty much it. There's a few contests this weekend. There's nothing really good. There's the Arkansas QSO party. There's a joke there that I won't tell. I almost got arrested in Arkansas one time. I don't know if I told you guys. I was smuggling in books. But anyway, well, you guys are a tough crowd tonight. Jesus.
I thought you were going to say you smuggled in some toothpaste.
That one's even better. I like that one even better. But nothing against the folks in Arkansas. It's just a joke. Anyway, yeah, it was true. I apologize. Whatever. But anyway, there's His Majesty the King of Spain contest is coming up, and then some others. The Baltic contest has been canceled for 2022. You know, war and famine and all that, kind of bad for contesting. Anyway, so that's what we got there, and that's pretty much the newsletter for this week. Again, if you don't get the newsletter, just send me an email with the word subscribe, and I'll make sure you get you on there. You can also go to the website and just fill out the little thing on there, and it will get it right in for you there. You can fill out the little thing right here. It'll come up right here eventually. I don't know why that one always comes up last, but it will. Anyway, you just fill that out right there. Okay, that's what I have for tonight. So what I'd like to do now is turn it over to you guys and see who's having trouble in your shack and what we can help you with tonight with our assembled experts and the rest of us that are pretending to be experts. Is there anybody we can help out there? And you guys are a tough crowd tonight, man.
Having trouble with his PC. I hope he didn't go away.
I find that with Windows PCs, and I'm a Windows guy. I'm not a Mac guy because I don't have money for that. But I'm a PC guy, and I've done some research, and something that seems to work is Coca-Cola. You pour it right down in the back near the fan, and it fixes all the problems in the computer.
Yeah.
I bet.
You won't have any problems with it from that day forward.
Camera works pretty good.
Matter
too.
of fact, you'll find that it's very stable from that point on. Anyway, yeah, Windows is one of those things. I would stay away from Windows 11. I'll tell you guys that. I've heard nothing but bad things. As you guys know, every other Windows version is horrible.
Yeah.
The last one was good. So do the math. This is the bad one coming. This is the ME or the 95 or the whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about.
Windows 8. Windows 8 ball.
Oh yeah, here
Remember
comes
that one?
this is a Windows 8 coming. I'm telling you guys, just be careful with 11. I have not had one person tell me, yeah, I put 11 in, it's great. It's kind of, there's always those things that you hear. There's certain words you never ever hear in life. I'll give you another one. Yeah, ever since the back surgery, my back's been great.
Yeah, you don't hear that.
You'll never hear that spoken out loud, ever, ever, ever. Okay, so anyway, so nobody. Oh, what you
Anyway,
got? What's
You
that?
want to hear an update on my problem there with FT8?
Yes,
and,
Dave.
Anyway, I did a lot of investigating online, and I found other people that had the same problem as I, in regards to upgrading my Windows to 10 to the new update, and everybody had the same problem. The FT8 wouldn't work anymore, and so anyway, I tried to get online to find out if there was any fixes or so forth for it. And there was one company that sold a program for $150 that would fix it. And I said, no, thank you.
No.
And then the other things were, I got involved in things that was a little bit over my head, but I was able to get the COM port 3 to show up by giving certain commands and so forth, but yet the computer didn't recognize the port, even though the port was there. So I kept looking into it, and they said, well, maybe you ought to just dump that Windows that I have and reinstall the older version. And that's where I'm at now, and I haven't done it yet.
Well, if you don't need Windows 10 and 7 was working, then that computer would probably even work faster if it's doing nothing but FT8 on Windows 7. Then if you, every time, I'd be honest with you, I have not updated a Windows system in a long time, an existing system, because every time I used to do that, it was a problem.
It's the virtual serial ports that are causing the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate them.
Yep. And they were really bad, and now they've come out with this next generation of them, but they're still not great. They're still a problem. Still a problem.
I wanted to show you this.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, is that a framework?
It's a framework.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought, I went out and spent money and got this. You would not believe how fast. Now, the only operating system I have on this thing right now is the what is it? Pop OS.
Hey, Pop OS.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. Let me show you how quick this puppy comes up. You will be surprised.
You just push the button.
I just pushed the button.
Okay.
And,
backlight's on. Framework.
It comes up. And
That's the gray login screen. There's your cursor.
And this up. And this up.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So that
Very
just
nice.
show you how fast these things come up. This has got, I'm going to put, I'll probably have to put stinking Windows on it just for some things, but it's going to be a small part of the disk. It's going to have a gig. Right now, I've got a 500 gig on it, but I'm going to put it takes solid state drive. So I'm going to put a gig on there and make the Windows a bit like 200 gigs, and the rest of it's going to be various forms of Linux, which is probably going to be Pop OS, be the first one I put on there, because I've been playing with it. I've been playing with the new Ubuntu. The new Ubuntu's already kind of pissed me off. They've got something on there called Software Center. And that thing is the biggest retarded piece of garbage I think I've ever seen. It looks nice, and you got 60-some thousand applications, but you've got to authenticate for each one of those applications, which is about as retarded as it gets.
Yeah.
So with Ubuntu, I always put Synaptic Package Manager on there. That's the way to go with those. But I've also tried Linux Mint. It's not quite yet. They don't have a newer version out yet. So I think the main thing I'm gonna put on here, and I've also been playing with this and trying to get my N1MM logger to work on here with the wine that's on here. I haven't quite gotten the hang of it yet, but I think there's a pretty darn good chance I'll get that to work.
N1MQU? Is that the name?
N1MM plus.
N1MM. Is that paid software? Do you have to pay for that?
No, it's a freebie.
Well, I'm gonna try and install it here if I can get it running. And I'll let you know if I
It's
figure
a
out any
Windows
problems.
application,
Yeah, I know.
but it should work. You should be able to get the thing to work under Linux using Wine. And I've been trying to do that, and I'm not quite gotten to it yet. So if there's something you could do, and I've been trying it on Pop OS.
Is
This
it does it have to interface with the radio?
Yeah, it will.
Hmm.
So you're going to have to map the /dev/TTY USB blah 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 to COM something to modify it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once you do that and get the radio hooked up to like my radio's got both you got both the cat and you've got the sound card in the radio. So once you get all that going, it's going to be a little bit, but I haven't been able to get to run yet. So,
Okay.
so if you can play with that, but that it should work, but with the newer wine tricks and everything, but I'm not very experienced with wine, so I'm having trouble getting it to go.
Yeah, it may just be something simple. You may have to go into
Oh.
wine config and enable or disable something.
Yeah, that's probably it. And I just don't
know,
how to use that yet.
You might need some cheese to go with all that wine.
But anyway,
Epic funny prank.
I did want you to see my new toy, which
That's super cool though. I want one of those.
Yeah, and it's got I've got 16 gigs of memory in it. It'll take up to 64, so which is an incredible amount of memory for a laptop. But then I remember when we thought 640K was a lot of memory. But anyway.
My first Windows hard drive had 30 megabytes.
Yeah. You were probably running Windows 3.1.
3.11 for work groups.
Work groups, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was a good system too.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent system. 3.1 really wasn't worth the flip without the work groups. I like the work groups better too, because
that was back, but that was before they had service packs. That was basically just a service pack.
Yeah. But anyhow.
Yep. I'm sitting here putting the fuses in my little fuse panel. I can't wait to do this thing tomorrow.
So I'm becoming kind of a Pop OS aficionado.
Nice.
The other OS is, like I said, I've got another box sitting over here, which had 4 gigs of memory. I put 8 gigs in it. It was an HP mini tower, which I got from my mother a few years and years ago. Well, I had Windows 7. I went ahead and cloned the drive, upgraded the 7 to 10, which works great. And I've also got the Ubuntu on there, but I think I'm going to pull the Ubuntu off and put Pop OS on it. This is the brand new Ubuntu, but it's just, I think Pop's better. I think they've done a better job of dealing with the software and everything.
One thing I will tell you about Pop OS is whenever an update is released, whenever it says, it'll notify you, say version whatever 22.04 is available. Whenever you see that for the first time, you want to wait like at least 2 weeks before you do the update, because the last few major updates they've done have had significant issues, which is a very Microsoft thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not super happy about that.
Any of them.
Yeah, I'm not super happy about what they've done with the updates. I had to reinstall my whole system because I tried to update from like 20.04 to 21.10. I tried to do that upgrade from the settings page like you're supposed to be able to do, and it broke the package manager so badly. Even the developers, their answer was to reinstall the OS, which is such a Microsoft thing to say, but
it's a Microsoft type of thing to say.
really, yeah. So that I've kind of lost some of my enthusiasm for Pop OS, but I'm still using it. I just don't really update it anymore. I just wait. I mean, the updates they've done, they did an update recently, 22.04, that actually has some good improvements in it. But
Yeah.
I mean, the system is running fine for me right now, so I'm just not going to touch it until then.
Yeah, well, one of the things I figured out about Pop OS is you can put it on the same drive with Ubuntu. And the reason is down in the EFI partition, it identifies as Pop OS.
Right.
Instead
Instead
of
of being
doing like Linux Mint, which identifies as Ubuntu. Well, if it does that, you can't put an Ubuntu system on that same drive. I tried that one time and it just absolutely harked them both up. Neither system was useful. So it's just something you got to learn about these GUID disks. But I've had a lot of fun with that stuff. It's fun to hack with it and everything. But I'm going to take this gig. I've ordered me a gig solid state drive. I mean, a terabyte solid state drive. And I may put Ubuntu and Pop on there and wait for the update of, what is it? Linux Mint. I may just put that on one of the external sticks and then I'll be able to boot it up too. But I don't think it'll go on this main drive by itself because it'll screw up the others.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. I do. Is that laptop you just showed me? Is that the one where all the parts just snap in?
Yeah.
I thought
This
so.
is
Yeah.
the one. This is the Heathkit or Elecraft of laptops.
Yes,
You
it
get
is.
and they send you the memory on it. If you do you can get it fully assembled. But
What's it called?
Framework. It's frame.work on the web. And they just came out with a new version. They went from the 11th generation Intel to the 12th generation Intel motherboard. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, Framework is really one of the coolest things. If they had like a
watch this, if you're not familiar with it, watch this little video right here. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they have like a gaming version, because I think the high, like you can go pretty high end with nice parts in it, but I don't know if they have like a dedicated gaming version yet.
I don't
But if
know, so,
if they did, I would absolutely want one of these, because this is all designed to be repairable, all the parts swappable. It's the complete opposite of a Mac.
Oh yeah, it's the anti-Mac.
Yeah, just complete
The
opposite.
thing I hate about Apple is they'll let it go. After a while, you've got to buy a whole new thing because you can't run the operating system or something of that nature.
Yep.
So I had a Mac Mini. I still got it around here. It's got Linux on it, but I became a hater of Apple after that happened. I thought, hey, no way I'll buy another Apple. Their hardware is expensive, and then it's like they've got it planned to go obsolete after a while. And
Yep.
this is the exact opposite of that.
And look at this. The other cool thing is when you buy it, look at it there. It said bring your own OS. So when you
Yeah.
purchase a laptop from any other brand, they charge you for the Windows that comes by default, even if you're not going to use it. That's part of the price of the laptop is $60 for Windows.
Yeah.
Bring your own OS. You save money there.
$200 for Windows. But
is
I
it?
know where you can get Windows. If you want Windows, you can get it for $69.
I usually just activate it for free using the command
yeah.
prompt.
If you can, if you can do that, go for it.
I did
But-
that on like 4 of Ian's computers.
Yeah. Yeah. If they had,
I don't know what you're talking about.
They had Windows 7 on them. Yeah, that's perfectly legal. I did that.
I'm telling.
Well,
Yeah.
and the truth was these all had legal systems on them anyway, so we're not stealing
Yeah, if
anything.
they had legal Windows 7
They already had
on
legal ones on them
it's
anyway.
perfectly legitimate to
Yeah.
just load it up with 10 and it'll work.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a deal.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah, I thought these were really cool because you could literally reconfigure it on the fly. Even you could like, if you needed to like take it with you and you might need a different video card or a different sound card or whatever, you just bring it with you. You can just pop it in and pop it out. See,
Yeah.
all these 4 plugs can be whatever you want. They can be HDMI plugs, they can be USB 2, USB 3, they
Yeah.
can be whatever you want them to be.
And you can use an outside dock too, a USB-C dock will work with it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so I thought these are really cool, and you know, I've got one of these purchases planned right after my lottery win.
yeah.
They're
couldn't
they're
wait
pricey,
that
but
long.
they're fun. I really want one of these, to be honest. I know
Yeah,
we've
they
watched
are-
that video 100 times now, but I'm gonna turn it off. But
It's a bit pricey, but I wanted one, so I thought by them I'm gonna get one. So I did.
I want one too.
Anyhow, and I'll get it configured to work with ham radio and every other thing. I'll
Yep.
get me an outside dock to go on it, and then you can hook extra monitors. I've already got one of the HDMI connectors, but I'll probably just put me a dock on it, and then I can hook up however many USB-C or how many USB-As I want and all that good stuff.
Truthfully, that's the biggest problem I have with my laptop. I've got I spent like $1,300 on this laptop, and it was more expensive than that. It was on sale, and it's got a great processor. Of course, the bus rates aren't great. The heat dissipation's not great because it's a laptop, but
Yeah.
it does really good. The problem I'm having with it is all the peripheral ports are wearing out. Like the HDMI wire now, if it gets moved, it flips the screens and the HDMI goes out and comes back on. And the USB ports are starting to get to where if the USB is a little loose there, it'll lose connection intermittently.
Yeah. I
And
get that
the
problem.
power, I've been very protective of the power plug because it's got a really small power plug. And it's so
Yeah.
far it's doing okay, but it's after 2 years, it's starting to get a little sloppy.
Yeah,
And
this has got an audio type connection on it too, but I'll
Yep.
probably, I can use one of these just as easy as I can that. So,
oh yeah.
yeah, so I'll probably
Yep.
do that.
And it's got Bluetooth. I'm sure you can do a lot with that
Oh, yeah.
now.
It's
Although
got-
I have
That's
found
another thing you put in is the Wi-Fi Bluetooth adapter.
right.
You get that's outside, that comes separate, your memory, your solid state drive, and you open it up and you put that stuff in.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of fun. I did that last weekend.
All right, and I just wanted to show you guys, I got this all put together so you kind of see what it looks like when it's finished. There it is. It's got all the fuses in it. The little red lights. Do you see the little red lights between the fuses?
Yeah.
When a
Yeah.
fuse
Oh,
goes
yeah.
out, the red light comes on and lets you know which fuse is blown.
Well, that's
Um,
sick.
Yeah, so I mean it's idiot proof. So
that's neat.
it should work well for me. But it's got all the you can hook all your grounds up here. Your big ground, your ground from your power supply comes in here. Your positive from your power supply comes in down here, and then everything else just hooks up in the middle.
Thing that there's nothing that's foolproof because fools are so ingenious.
That's true. That's true. Well, I'm sure I can find a way to screw this up, but I'm gonna try. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna hook that up. That's tomorrow. I got the thin wire just came in. I've already got the thick wire over here. It's all gonna get run, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking to eliminate about 8 or 9 wall moles or wall warts, whatever. There's like 50 names for these things. Plug-in transformers. Whatever you want to call them. I'm
Plug-in
getting,
noise generators.
yeah, that's basically what they are. They're your noise floor enhancers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate that. But yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of some of those, and the only ones I'm gonna have left is 3 of my chargers for my radios, and I think I'm gonna put those on a power strip or something because they don't need to stay on all the time. I just need to charge them up once a week or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it just turned.
Yeah, I mean, the key is anytime you guys know what a wall wart is or a wall mole, anytime you have one of those, that's a power transformer in there, and it's going to cause a noise floor and things like that. All right, what else do we got, guys, out there? It's not quite closing time yet. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I do. I do.
Oh, well, go ahead.
So my birthday, I've mentioned this before, but I'll go a little bit more in depth because I'm pretty excited about this. So my birthday's in
No, we're not talking about your birthday.
it's soon. Anyway, so I am doing an overhaul of my mobile setup because for the longest time I've just had two mag mount antennas and the radios sitting on the floor with a thing Joe gave me from the swap shop. So I want to make it actually look nice and look nice and good so I can get statewide on the ham radio. So I got some things. Can I make my can you make me big so it fills the whole screen? I guess it probably normally does if I'm talking, or are you spotlighted? There we go. There we go. Okay. So I got some things that I'm pretty excited about. So number one thing I got was a PA speaker because the CB radio has a PA output on it, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. I can play the radio audio outside the car.
As you get more opinionated in traffic, that can actually get you in some trouble.
I know. I got to be careful.
Yeah, be careful with those little words and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I find that most communication can be done just using one finger or two.
That finger is probably as effective as anything.
Yeah, well, see, that's kind of what inspired me to get it. It was because someone did that to me, and I was like, "Well, now what do I do?" He's not even going to look back for me to do it back to him. So
Road rage.
yeah. The other thing I got, I spent a lot of time researching feed line. So this is 50 feet of RG 142. Most people use RG 142, and this stuff is not the lowest loss out of all of them. Like LMR 400 is better, and there's even stuff that's better than LMR 400. But for a mobile install, it's nice and flexible, and it can handle a lot of power. It doesn't care about heat. You can get it really hot, and it won't melt.
Teflon.
Yeah, it's Teflon, and it is nice, flexible, and low loss. So it's got a lot of nice things about it, and a lot of people just are satisfied with using RG8X or RG58. But I wanted this to be the best it could be, so I got me some of this. This was like $160 for just this.
Wow.
Stuff's expensive, but
that stuff also makes good if you ever want to wind your own balance or stuff like that. Yeah, that's good for that too.
Yeah, that's definitely true for making a balance for Yagis and things like that. The other thing I got, which I didn't have last week, but I have now, it arrived in the mail. Do you know what this is, Rick? You might know what this is.
It looks like one of those things you put on the bumper and you put a CB antenna on.
Yeah, so this is it's called a ball mount or a puck mount. And you have your regular NMO antenna, which is this little tiny thing. But because the antennas I'm using are so gigantic, you need something a lot more heavy duty. So this is a mount made by a company called Breedlove Mounts. It's all made in the USA, high quality stuff. And you have this little swiveling mount. So this one is tilted over and this one's standing up. And you screw in a, what's it called? 3/8 by 24 thread into there. And that's your antenna. So these two halves, they come apart and you get this like sandwich thing with the two halves, and it's really strong. I mean, you would have to put some kind of, I don't know what you'd have to put on here to need something more heavy duty than this, but the two halves come apart and then you have this bolt that threads through it. And then you have a seal here to keep the water out.
Tornado could blow your vehicle away and that thing will still be.
Yeah, this thing is never coming off. So you have your two halves and you drill your holes through your roof and you sandwich it together on there. And that is like super insanely solid. So I'm excited about these. These are nice. This was like $300, I think, for two. I had to get two because I've got two giant antennas. And unfortunately, they did send me the wrong connector. They sent me the terminal connector and I need PL259. But I called them on the phone and he mailed me out the PL259. So they didn't have end connectors, or I would have gone for that. But I'm still kind of confused because like most VHF, UHF antennas are all about having your connector go right into the antenna. But this just has like a big old chunk of metal before it goes into the connector. So I don't know if there's some loss there, but apparently it works because the reviews for this antenna is a CB, as a ham antenna for 2 meters, but it uses a CB mount. So that's kind of non-standard because I don't know. I was concerned about the loss, I guess, because it's
I'm not sure it would be usable on 440, but then try it and see.
it might be. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But anyway, so these two things, I love these things. These are super heavy duty and cool. So I got those. I also got an actual NMO mount for a third antenna, and then I got a bunch of little connectors here. I'm gonna have to make all my own connectors because this is just 50 foot. And then the antennas themselves. I know this is gonna be impossible to show on camera, but I'm gonna try. So this here is a, hold on, I need to turn it this way.
Tenants.
Hustler CG 144. This thing is gigantic. It's hitting the roof. It's gigantic. It's got a threaded 3/8 mount there, and then the whip. It's yeah. Well, it's a 5/8 wave. This bit here is a 5/8 wave, and then this bit is a quarter wave apparently.
A big tenant.
Yeah, it's huge. So this thing is huge. It flops around a lot, which is kind of good and kind of bad. It's bad because when you're driving down the road, it's going to be bent because of the wind. I don't know how much of a performance impact that's going to cause.
Might need a tennis ball.
No, please. No, not the tennis ball.
Well, but you're going to need a tennis ball on that thing.
Yeah, that's purposely.
Haven't you ever watched the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yes, I do.
So then after the ham antenna, this is a Fire Stick KW7 or KW6 CB antenna. This is pretty huge. It's 6 foot long. I can't even show it on. It's hitting the wall. And I also bought a coil for it to take up impacts because this is a lot more stiff than the other antenna. The other one I could hit tree branches and it'll be fine, but this is way more stiff. I mean, I can barely even bend it. So I put that spring on there just to.
Like the old Outbacker antenna.
Yeah. So those are the antennas. So that total height of the vehicle is going to be 13.5 feet, which is like the legal minimum height for a roadway to be, because semi trucks usually max out at about 13.5 feet. So we'll see how much stuff I hit, but I'm excited about that because that antenna's got a lot of gain and better radiation pattern. It's going to be mounted up all nice. So that's the stuff I got. The other thing I've been looking at is how to put the radios. So right now I have one radio sitting on my dashboard. It's kind of not really a great spot. I mean, it's an okay spot, but if you're having multiple radios and you want something that looks really nice, it's kind of not the way to go. So if I am going to share screen here. So I've been looking at this. Okay, here's like, let me see if I can find a picture of the finished product here. So here we go. So, you know, in like a real police car, they have these things professionally made. It's like a center console.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got the radios all in there. And this is what I actually think I'm going to make. I'm not going to rip out the center console in the existing one, but I'm going to put something in front of it because I have a big void. So you see here what he's got. This is made out of MDF. This stuff here, you can get it from Lowe's. It's a sheet of it's 1/2 inch diameter thickness, 48 inches by 8 feet. Get one of those. That should be enough to make one of these. I'm going to plan out all the dimensions and everything and some CAD software. He has it wrapped in like leather, but I might just paint mine. I'm not sure. But I really like how this is a really this is like the cleanest install you can get. You've got cutouts for the radios. And that means you also have space underneath there to have cooling fans, wiring. I also built this DC bus thing I'm going to have to show a picture of. But I like that. And I'm also going to put the little tilted screen here. You see he's got on the left. I'm going to probably put a Raspberry Pi in here with a touch screen. And eventually I'll have an RTL SDR running the airplane tracker software. So I'll have like a mobile airplane tracker. And then, of course, all the USB ports and indicators and switches and everything. That would be really useful, even though it is super cool already, but it'd also be extremely useful. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get one of these sheets. But I have to plan it out here and design it. And I have some CAD software running my virtual machine. But right now the setup is, let me share screen again here. That's the current setup there. So the radio on the top is sitting on the dash. That one kind of, the speaker sitting there next to it. That's not like, that works fine. And I've been using it for over a year and it's not really a problem. But if I'm going to do this, the right way, I'm probably going to move that off the dash. So I thought about putting it in the little pocket here under the third-party radio, but it didn't really quite fit, and I'm going to build this box. So anyway, this Suburban, there's a lot of different versions of the interior for the Suburban and Tahoe and Silverado and everything. Some of them have like real big center consoles or like cup trays and stuff here. This one has nothing there. So I have a perfect spot to just build this box. It won't even remove my use of the cup holders. I'm just going to build this here, and the radios will be, tilted on their back facing up out of the hole. Right now it's just on that wooden thing that Joe gave me, but yeah, the plan is to make it look really nice. And then I'm also going to do as I do this project, I'm going to be recording all of it, and I'm going to make it into videos and upload it to the TechNet channel. So we're going to have like a start to finish complete overhaul of everything. And I'm going to be trying to do everything the best you can possibly do it. So no weird corners cut, nothing that looks like crap. It's all going to be like the best you can make it and as clean and as professional as possible. That's the goal. So that's my current project. I have
Joseph, I want to show you something real quick. If you got a second here, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to show you, this is where we used to buy all of our stuff when I was a firefighter. It's called Galls, Galls, Galls Incorporated. Whoa. And yeah, and they actually sell the kind of stuff you're looking at making.
Whoa.
I don't want you to, I don't want to discourage you from making something, because making it's always cool. But they do sell a lot of this stuff already made. This is actually an ad for the lights, but it shows you 3 different types of boxes here.
Right.
And they do sell these. Yeah. And they're sweet, they're fresh, and they come with the little panels that you can pop out.
Wow.
Yeah. So
man, I didn't see, this is the thing. I didn't know where to get this stuff.
Yeah. Police suppliers, and they will sell to you. They'll sell to anybody.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that too. That may be another solution if I decide not to build it. But yeah, because mounting a bunch of radios, I'm already out of mounting space, so I'm gonna have to come up with something.
That might be handy inside too, and not in the car.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's like exactly.
Yeah, they got it's all cop stuff, but I don't know what you got to put in to get just these things.
Kind of pricey for just the bracket, but $80 to $89 for
yeah. Look, any police equipment's going to be pricey.
See, because they can charge a lot and they'll pay it. Yeah, but that's the exact kind of thing I need right there. I'll probably still build it unless I see something better.
I'd have to find it. But yeah, the thing is you can just find it. I mean, just go to any police website or anything like that, and you would probably be able to find this thing.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, I'm gonna look more into the pre-made stuff, but I'll probably still end up making it custom. I like building the things, and I'll have more flexibility for what I want to do.
Oh yeah, but also you can go on and find this stuff and get ideas from.
Yes. That's. Oh yeah, there's a lot of them out there. I'm also going to be getting a bunch of those like marine things we were looking at a couple of TechNets ago, where it's like USB ports, voltage readouts.
Yes. I like those.
Stuff like that, where it's got the circle and it's all the same color, and it. Oh, hold on 1 second. There's people.
Pull that up real quick. Let's see. I think I can get that to come right up. Yeah, here's what he's talking about. I'll show you guys. We were looking at these for our portable boxes we're building.
Yeah, that's the thing right there.
That's a cool little thing, huh? I mean, you got switch on and off for your lights and stuff. You got your voltage meter with 2 USB charging ports and a 12-volt power plug.
That's exactly what I need. I'm probably going to order that. Because the plan is to run some high gauge wires, some big thick wires from the battery directly into a DC bus in the box. So I'll have 12 volts there.
Power work stuff too. It's a little more expensive, but that's enough. Same idea.
there's a bunch of different ones, but I really like this one here
Yeah,
because
that's
it
what
gives
the-
you. Although I need about 4 switches. One's not going to be enough. Because when I build my U box, my U12 that I'm going to build, when I build that, I'm going to need 2 switches for lighting and at least 1 switching for cooling fans.
Yeah, more
Because I
switches.
want to
would
be able
nice.
to turn off things if I
Well-
go to battery. I want to be able to eliminate things I don't necessarily need.
Well, you should look up just I'm sure there's that exact thing just with a bunch of switches on it.
Oh, there is. Oh, absolutely. You can buy just a switch panel. Let's see, just 12 volt. Let's see. Yeah, you can buy these all day long, and they're not too bad.
Oh, that the touchscreen thing.
Oh, look at that one.
Man.
Oh, I like that.
Oh man, it's got the flip up switches and everything.
Yeah, it's,
Oh
that's
man.
like how you launched the nuclear missiles with something
Oh
like that.
wow.
Yeah, I
Don't
like
give
that.
Vladimir any ideas.
That is slick.
We're
You
such
see-
nerds. We pull stuff like this up and we're like, it's like pornography. Oh my God. Look at those switches. Oh my God.
Now
I
you,
want
you
it.
guys need a drool rag.
Yeah. As long as it's just for drool. This is Zoom, you know. Ah,
Yeah.
I like
There
that
was one I saw up ahead. It looked like the control panel on Kit, where the buttons themselves like are indicated and they light up when you push them.
Yeah, there's something there. I love this stuff. Look at that. That's a
Man.
nice one there.
Batteries to
Dude.
power, turbines to speed.
There you go. That's what I was thinking. See right there, it has like it says stuff
that's
on it.
that's cool. You got phasers and shields on the same panel.
Yeah. If we could just make our own stickers for that, or however those whip
yeah.
light bar, fog lights.
Starship Enterprise with the stuff.
Matrix.
I wonder what the whip is.
I guess there's a light at the end of their.
Yep.
The hell is
Wow.
whip?
PA system, windshield. What? Windshield. This had to be made by a Chinese company because what is windshield?
What is whip?
Fox.
Is there possibly a description?
Maybe it probably says very good product made in China.
Yeah, you like very much good time.
Chinese English yet?
That's pretty cool though. I mean, all the hardware's in that like sealed box that you can
Yeah.
mount somewhere else. I do like this.
That is so sweet. That is
I
sweet.
just I want to see if they give you an option to put different. Look at that little panel. Oh, I like that. You could just Velcro that right to the front panel. You know what I mean? You don't even need to. It doesn't even need to be recess mounted.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that. It's $100,
That's kind of a lot, but
or as we call it nowadays, 3 loaves of bread and some macaroni.
Yeah.
one tank of gas.
Yeah, a teaspoon of gas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when like gas is twice as much as milk.
Yeah.
By the gallon.
The cow can make the shit cheaper than we can make it out of the
If
ground.
we could just put stuff the cows make in the gas tank, we'd have it made.
Oh God. Well, oh yeah, here, look, it does actually look. You get,
Oh, look at that.
yeah,
All
you
kinds
do
of
get
labels.
labels.
That's what you need right there. Auxiliary
see-
power.
I
You
I
see
see
whip in
auxiliary
there?
power. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's got whip in there. I wonder what that is.
That must be the phasers. I don't know what else it could be.
It has a flag with a little sparkly at the tip. So I guess they make like, ATVs when they're doing off-roading, how they'll put that flag on the front of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There must be a version that has like lights, and so they need that.
There's one that says fridge.
Wait, really? What?
Well, no, I mean, because your go box might have a little mini fridge to keep your 6-pack in. You can't do a hurricane without a 6-pack, right? I mean, I don't drink, but I'm sure, some people.
Then
But
there's
anyway, yeah,
lightning
GPS?
underglow. Look,
Oh,
there's one that says rock.
Rock.
What?
bolt. Yeah, electric rock.
That must go right to the
What the hell
radio.
is that? Activate rock. Rock activated. Aye, Captain.
Push the
Rock and
rock
roll.
button.
I love backup looks like two little missiles. Back up or I'll hit the missile button. I swear to God.
Welder.
How
What?
many cars have a God blessed welder? I mean, come on.
Hubs.
Locker enable.
See, look, my car has a TIG welder and a stick welder. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
Yeah, we got a mobile welding station here. We got to turn it on with the control panel. Camera? It has camera. Wow. Well, yeah, I wish they had an expanded catalog.
I can't read what this one is. The one second from the bottom on the right.
This is PA system.
Oh, is that PA system?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I can read is FZM.
An
I can't really
awesome
tell what all the
lightning
words are.
bolt. That one cracks me up.
Yeah. You need like a bypass button. Rerouting.
Welder.
Got to reroute to auxiliary power.
There's a button for light cubes.
It's
Those are
definitely
like ice
European.
cubes, but they're not as cold.
It's
Light
definitely European
bar.
because that windshield one shows a wiper on the headlight.
Oh no.
And there's a camera one too, just in case.
Jeez.
There's underglow and rock.
There's
Well, that's
still,
pretty
there-
out.
There's still several missing that we need. I mean, you got to have
Yeah.
saucer separation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Core
must.
ejection.
Core ejection.
Well, that button doesn't work.
Well, it never works, but you have to have it.
Mm-hmm. Just so you
They
can say
always-
you tried.
Isn't it funny how they always try to eject the warp core and it never works? Voyager actually injected the warp core one time, and I'm like, oh my God, it came out. All right, anyway, enough of that. There's some people that are like, oh, these geeks. Oh, I can't stand these geeks.
What a bunch of nut jobs.
Oh, these nerds, man.
Getting excited over a bunch of buttons.
Let's quit talking about stupid things like Star Trek and get back to radios.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Anyway, so that I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool, but yeah, they sell all kinds of these like switch panels and stuff right on Amazon, and eBay even has more of a selection, of course.
Dude, do they have ones where you have to flip up the cover so you can switch the button? Like a
Oh, what are those called? Those are
Safety switch?
safety toggle.
Safety toggle.
Safety toggle. We used to have those because you don't want to accidentally launch missiles.
there it is.
There it is, right
Uh,
there. There you go.
Oh, it's even got a push-in button that says start. Engine start.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure we can change that out to say launch.
Mm-hmm.
On a different NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or maybe it could say fire.
There you go. Get out.
Yes, about $30.
That's actually a nice little panel there.
The cool thing is when you flip
30
them down,
bucks. I mean, come on, 30 bucks.
when you
Where's
flip
the
those
eject
switches
button?
down, it pushes the switch.
Where's
Yes.
the eject button?
Yeah, to turn it on, you have to flip the cover up. Then you have to flip the switch up under the cover. These work really good. We had these in a few applications at the fire department years ago, and they work really good. But then when you shove the whole mess down, it turns it off.
Mm-hmm. I need one of those. I need like a gigantic 1500 watt amplifier. Oh, my camera just messed up. I need a humongous amplifier in the back seat, and then I need one of those emergency switch. I need like 4 switches you got to turn on in sequence and enter a code.
Oh, I want this. Look at this one.
No, really.
This one's pretty good.
Whoa, a woman.
That shit's going on my go box right there.
Sasquatch light, off-road lights, rear lights with the flipping bird. And
So you put a light bar on the back of your car facing backwards. And
Yeah.
if someone tailgates you, you light your miniature sun.
Yeah, well, it saves you all that hassle of flipping them off out the window.
No, you need one of those neon signs like that says open, but it's like custom made.
Oh my God! I
The
can't
back
believe they
window?
got that.
Oh, that is really
Yeah.
funny. Man, switch panels are the
I knew a
coolest
guy
thing.
that used Christmas lights to make the little finger flipping off, and he put it in his back window of his car.
Switch panels are
I
the
never
coolest
saw
thing.
that guy again. No. Boy, they got a lot of these. This is kind of a neat setup, though. I like it because it's small, and I can put that box up inside the U rack.
Mhm. And it's
You
got
know?
it's got all the fuses and relays and everything.
Yeah, and it's easy to hook up. It's like a bus bar right there,
Mm-hmm.
and
Do you think the Chinese dreamed this up, or did they have some help from some Americans?
no, we design it. They make it.
Yeah.
That's usually the way it works, anyway.
You can get them individual there.
Our guys would do better work if we paid them 8 cents a day and whipped them. But
whip switch.
they frown upon that, you know.
I have an
That's a
idea for something in a car. I don't know how to share share a photo.
Okay. All you would do is go down to your controls for Zoom and look for the one that I gotta move my camera. Look for the one that says share screen, and then
Share content.
yeah, and then when you click it, it's gonna come up with, and it's gonna ask you what you want to share, and then just click the one you want to share with us.
Okay.
Do you see the control that says share screen?
Yeah, I'm scrolling through my photos right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get your photo up that you want to show, and then go to the controls and hit share screen. There you go.
That's
I
I just had aluminum. I had an aluminum cup that I put in the cup holder, and I put all my HTs around that and the microphones.
That's pretty smart.
And then my smartphone fits in the middle.
I like that. That's very smart.
Very nice. And you could talk on the radio while you're drinking coffee. No,
Well,
that's
not
a good
that
idea.
cup, but then you can put your connectors and stuff down there in the cup and so forth. Other antennas, or if you have a different antenna. So that's my idea.
I'll show you something you're gonna love. I love your little red radio there. Look at this. I've got the exact same radio.
Yeah, I got that one. I got that one so I could
220.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to do it.
You know why? You gotta build you a 220 antenna.
Yeah,
220.
too far away from the.
Yeah, but that 220 is a great band. It's clear. There's nobody. It's literally just dead quiet. What you do is you get your little SMA plug and you build you a little antenna. You can the antenna for this is about half the size of a 2 meter. It's bigger than a 440, obviously, but you could build you a little Yagi out of a piece of wood about that long, and 2 coat hangers, and a little SMA cord and 2 screws, and you could literally build you a Yagi that will work on 220, and you go out in your yard and hold it. You could talk on that net. I guarantee it would work.
All right, I'll think about that.
I mean, it's so simple. Just you could build it with a coat hanger and a piece of wood, and you just put a screw on top to hold the director and the reflector in place, and then you just put 2 screws in and put your 2 wires under the screws and have one element go in either direction, and that's it. You've built the Yagi. And I built 2 of those early on, and they're still out there working. I take them down every now and then because I have to paint them again or do something because they're falling apart. They were never made to be. They were just temporary, and I'm still using them. Like I said, my 2 meter Yagis up on the roof or up on the top of my tower. They're 2 7-element Yagis sitting 1 bandwidth apart, 2 meters apart. And there's 7 elements, and the wire between them is the exact same length, so that way they resonate perfectly. And I built those out of PVC. My entire cost for those was like $30, and I can make the 60-mile trip to Verna and get on the NI4CE system in Tampa with it at 32 feet. So it's amazing. It really is amazing what you can build. We've got if you go back on our YouTube channel, type SWFL TechNet. If you just type that in to the search and then put Yagi, you'll find we actually did whole shows on building Yagis where we show you how to do it and everything. So, anyway, other than that, is there anything else anybody has that we want to go over? It's after 10 o'clock, so we've done our bit for God and country here. But if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we'll do it.
I'll show you
Thanks,
something.
guys. Have a great evening. I got to run.
All
Okay,
right.
bye. All right, man. We'll see you later.
73s.
Yeah, 7-3. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
I'm out too.
Yeah.
All right,
Alrighty.
Chris. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming in tonight, buddy. Hope to see you again next week.
Yes, sir.
We do this every week, and we have a really good time on here. So we'd love to see you come back.
I'll be back.
All right, we'll see you then.
You all have a good one. 73s.
All right, Dave. 7-3s, man. Good luck with that computer.
Yep.
Rick's trying to show us something.
A little red dot.
Was that
There's
more rain
no
coming in, Rick?
thunderstorms.
Yeah, we got some more rain. I think most of it's gone by, but anyway, that's my
Oh.
other computer I've got in here that, oh.
Well, Dave's not here, so I'll say it. Bloody hell.
All right, well, I
All
got
right,
my
there's a
camera
good
and then I
impression.
got it going again, so we're back in place here. But anyway, that's just the other screen. I got it in the, yep. A
There
lot of
we
rain.
are.
now.
This is my radar off of our website here. See what we got. No warnings.
Oh, you got
And,
some lightning. Yeah, there's some lightning down
Yeah,
there.
this one's got lightning, and this one's going to come right up the river. It's nothing major, but we're probably going to see some flickering and flashing.
Yeah,
I'll probably turn my tower cam that way here in a minute, see if I can see any
I'm gonna
flashing.
get my attic antenna built here.
Yeah.
I've got a magnetic one right now that I was going to use, but we're using it on the 775 node right now. So I'm going to take another one I think I've got here. I built this tape measure Yagi out of a piece of PVC pipe into pieces of tape measure. You know, I
Yeah.
cut pieces of tape measure, and I've got it laying over here, and it works great, and I haven't used it. I think I'm going to put a wire back on it, and I'm going to stick it in my spare bedroom on top of the dresser on a little tripod and just shoot it through the wall at the
Yeah.
775. And then that way, I'm going to run the wire out under my house and over here to my shed. And that way I can talk on the 775 during a thunderstorm and not have to worry too much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the radio power supply is hooked into a battery backup box on the protection side, not the battery side. So hopefully that will provide some protection to me, because I will be talking on it during storms with the WatchNet. So
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Yep,
I want
it's-
to build my disco that I've been meaning to build. So I've got the stuff here. I just need to take the time and do it. Get the thing put up in the attic.
what was that radio you showed me before, Joseph? What was the name of that thing? Was it TYT
TYT 9800.
9800? I'm so bad with numbers and all that bull crap. Guys, this is the radio I'm buying right here. It's the this one here.
It's a clone of the 8900. It's not
Yeah.
even. It's not even much of a clone anymore because they discontinued the 8900. So now it's pretty much your only choice if you want to get that radio. I've heard it's pretty good.
Yep, that's the one I'm going to get. And the neat thing about there's some really neat things about this.
19. That's not too bad for a dual bander.
Yeah,
It's a
see,
quad bander.
That's the
Oh,
neat thing.
really?
It's a quad band. It's 10 meters, 6 meters, 2 meters, and 440.
That's like
And-
a Yaesu rig, and I forget what it was.
Yeah, it's a copy of the Yaesu 8900,
Yeah, okay.
which is what I have, like 3 of those radios. So that radio that's quad
Yeah.
band. It can also monitor. It can do something the 8900 can't do. It can monitor all the way up to like 950 megahertz.
I thought
Yeah.
that was in here somewhere. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
Here's your frequency range right here. Let me see if I can get that up to where you can see it. There we go. That's your frequency range. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's receive only. A lot of it's receive only.
950, not what's
But-
in the range, but the 902 to 928 band among some things. Then you got 400 to 480. 108 to 136 is your aeronautical band.
Yeah.
320,
and so-
320 to 399 is also airband.
Aeronautical, yeah. Military, I think.
Yeah, that's all military 300s.
I don't know
And then,
what
of course-
750 to 950 is. That's going to be,
Yeah, but that's the 750 to 950 does go right through at least one amateur band.
well, you know what you can do with that? Well, that's RX only. But you
Yeah.
know what you can do? In Fort Myers, there is a lot of simulcasting of the emergency operations stuff up there around 850 megahertz. You could
Ah, yeah.
program in a bunch of those simulcast frequencies. That'd be useful.
Yep. Yep. So anyway, that's this is the radio. I'm going to be purchasing 2 of these over the course of the next month or so. I've got a big job that I'm working on right now, and once I get paid from that, I believe I'm going to purchase 2 of these. It may end up being 1. The second one will depend on how nice Mama is. But I'm going to tell her I'm making good money on this job, so I'm just going to tell her, look, I'm buying 2 of these radios. She'll be all right with it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
get
a
down a
lot of people have problems getting their wife to like, but my wife and I are cool with it. She knows this is my thing and she's cool with it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 of these. I think I'm going to put 1 in my van and I'm going to put 1 in the shack. And then I'm going to take my little Anytone that I bought and put it in my bedroom. I'm going to mount, I got a little spot on my nightstand. I'm going to mount it in a little rack on my
Oh,
nightstand.
nice.
And I'm going to have my mic right there. Yeah, that way. Because I spend a lot of time in there watching movies and stuff with my wife. And I want to have the watch net up all the time. My goal is to have that up not quite 24 hours a day, because I will shut it off when I'm sleeping. There's no sense in leaving that thing beeping through the night. But because I think it identifies every hour. But I'm gonna my goal is to have that in my van, in my shack, and in my bedroom, and it's gonna be up 24/7 in the shack, and anytime the van's on, it'll be up, and then when I'm in my room, I can turn it on in there. And the whole thing is I just want to be monitoring it so that if a storm starts up or maybe there's something big happening in town that I'm not aware of, somebody can jump on there and say, hey, anybody on the watch net yet regarding the and we can get
There
this
you go.
going. So my whole goal is to get all of us on that radio when something big's going on so that we can look out for each other and we can pass information to each other. I've got WinLink going here on HF. I got WinLink going here on 2 meter. And, if it gets bad and we start losing internet and we start losing phones and things like that here, I want to be able to use that to get the information out, to get people's messages in and out, and also just to be someone there to talk to during the storm. With the 440, for those of you who are pretty close, you can use an indoor antenna and
Yeah.
you can talk on it during a storm. That's kind of the whole plan. All right. Anyway, where are we at here? Comes with a programming cable too, which is nice.
Which is
Um,
because they'll usually charge you money for that.
Yeah. But I like it. It's got a full function mic. I used to hate the full function mics, but I'm getting used to them. I was a Motorola man. The mic had 1 button on it, the one you talk.
Yeah,
Uh,
push to talk.
But yeah, I'm getting used to that one anyway. But yeah, I like that that whole thing there. Let's see, what else did I put that in here? Oh, and there's that other thing I was looking at, that little beacon.
Oh yeah.
We were looking at this. I'm going to put a little beacon on top of my big tower when I get it up to 50 feet. I'm going to be up near 50 feet. So
Wow.
I don't need to put a light on it, but I want to. I kind of live on the edge of the ghetto. And so let's just say my buddy actually flies the chopper at night for the sheriff's department, and I don't want him to hit my shit.
Yeah.
So I literally want to put this light up there because I just don't. If I'm up 50 feet, I'm up 40 feet now, and I swear to God, he's going to scrape that thing one night. I mean,
Here's
these
the
guys are a little crazy around here, man.
Or the mosquito control plane will get you.
Yeah, the mosquito control, they're even worse. but that's what it looks like on the inside. It's like an LED pillar in
LEDs.
there. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't get it unless it was LED. There's only two kinds of lights, LEDs and the ones like we used to use.
Yeah.
But anyway,
what
I
got.
think the way this works is it flashes like left, center, right, back, left, center, right, back, and it just basically like rotates across the 4 planes, I think. But I don't know. It does have a buzzer built in, which I'll disconnect. But I thought that this was a good one, and the price is right. I mean, that's the experimental price right there. I can buy that, and if I don't need it, I don't need it. But so I'm gonna probably get this one before too long. Oh, maybe I'll get that too, like a wind-up siren to go on there. My neighbors will love that.
Oh, they'll love you for that.
Yeah, I'll ring that every time there's a tornado alert. But yeah, I was looking at this one too, but I bet you this one's brighter.
It's
Anyway.
on choice. Probably is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a beacon. You don't need a beacon under, I think, 500 feet.
Yeah, you don't really need a beacon.
It's more than you think. Yeah, you don't need one. I'm just putting one up there because I want to.
No, I did the same.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I like the light. The light is cool. It makes it more official. Got that
Yeah.
ham radio antenna. The blinking light. Let all your neighbors know. Don't you forget that there's antenna here. It's nighttime. Don't you forget.
That's right.
You can't see it.
I'm surprised none of them have ever bitched about me messing their TV up.
They go over there with a box of ferrite traps and say, I'm going to put this on all your stuff.
See if I can get this. It looks I hate to say this, but the bands are closing up right now. Although 15's still open and it's pretty late. I don't know. You know, they say, well, when the geomagnetic field goes crazy, that's it for ham radio. I don't agree with that. I think the crazier things get, sometimes that opens one thing up and closes another one down.
Yeah, that's good for ham radio.
But anyway, here's what we got. Let me put that back up. Here's the screen capture. Let me see if I can. Oh, hey, I can just do that. Yeah, there we go. That's the current, and you can see there we're down to 166. We were at 171 or 176 or something earlier on the solar flux, and then the K was down to 2 earlier. It was quiet. Now you can see the geomagnetic field is active, and the K index is up to 4. And then notice what's happened to all the bands. They're either fair or poor. There is no more good. They've all basically shut down, supposedly. So I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. I'm still getting stuff here. So hopefully not too bad. All right. Does anybody have anything else? I'm pretty whooped. It's been a hell of a week. I'm, as you guys know, a lot of you guys are, I'll tell you, I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube. If nobody has anything else tech related, I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube. So thank you, everybody that's on YouTube. This is the Southwest Florida TechNet. And we're on every Friday night. You can join us. You don't have to be a ham radio operator, although we'll probably encourage the hell out of you to get your license.
Helps.
It does help. And so we'll talk to you hopefully next week. And feel free to join us in the Zoom meeting if you would like next Friday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time at SWFLtech.net. SWFLtech.net. It's all right there in the description below. Have a good night, everybody on